Well, my pretties, we are now in 2022, and I do want to say I do apologize for not doing these shadows and pretties. Not really not shadows and pretties. Pregnancy movie reviews because I've been taking some time off from doing them due to Christmas and New Year's. So now that it's 2026, we are getting back to doing pregnancy movie reviews. And today we are going to be looking at this 2009 film, a supernatural horror film called The Unborn. So this is a really interesting concept. So basically, the plot of this is definitely something that I did not expect to see. But, however, for it is what it is. So basically what happens is Casey Beldon has hallucinations of strange looking dogs in the neighborhood. So basically, while babysitting Maddie, her neighbor's son, she finds him showing his infant sibling his reflection to the mirror. So, of course, what happens is that Romy tells her about the superstition that newborns cannot see their reflections in the mirror, at least for a year, because otherwise they will die soon. So, of course, Casey's father admits that she had a twin brother who died while he was in the womb when her umbilical cord strangled him, and whom Casey's late mother, Janet, nicknamed of Jumbie. So basically, it's just basically a film that involves, Casey who's paranoid after becoming the centerpiece of the city of, strange events. Now, she eventually later that she had a twin that died in the womb, and this all happens because of Dubek, a spirit trapped between worlds. So, at the end of this movie, you do find out that Casey, see, takes a pregnancy test and learns that she is pregnant with twins. But that's not just until, the end of the movie where you do get that. But while I personally can definitely say, it's one of those movies that, it looks bad, but at the same time it's good at the same time. So I definitely do need to say this movie was actually not that bad. I personally thought this movie was, good for what it is. I mean, it's a good film. Like there is the 19 that was a 2009 film that I reviewed. Now, basically that I reviewed the 2000 in you know the 2009 film. So I'm gonna explain about the 1991 film. Now, basically, I'm talking about both films, like Unborn 2009 and 1991. So basically, in the 1991 film, this basically involves a married couple and a fertile wife, Virginia, and her husband, Brad, decide to join an experiment into a fertilization program to find out, to try to get more pregnant, to get pregnant and stuff. So there's definitely that. But in the 1991 film, I personally thought it was really neat and well done, even though, it did have some moments here and there, but it wasn't really that bad. But I will say that the 2009 version was actually not that bad. It actually was pretty good. I like the 2009 version, but I also like the 1991 version as well. So you can definitely say, they're both pretty good movies. So even though this film does not show pregnancy too much until near the end, but it's still a pretty interesting film. I personally really enjoyed this. I thought it was really good for what this story is. It's really well done. I definitely do need to say is that it's a pretty interesting concept for a film. So you definitely get a lot of good concept for this film and stuff like that. But I definitely do need to say is that it definitely hits you differently. Like I do remember I watched this like years back, like the original and the 2009 remake, but I can definitely say that it was, kind of mixed for me because I didn't really know what to really feel about it. But that's just that. But like I said, this film is actually a pretty good film. I personally really enjoyed this a whole lot. I definitely really enjoyed this a whole lot. I can easily recommend this movie for any of you guys who have not seen this one. So, with that being said, and that being the case, this film is a really good one. And I can definitely recommend this to anybody who really wants to see, good movies like this. So, yeah. I mean, most of this is kind of boring, but you don't see the pregnancy too often, but there is mentioned. So, I can definitely say this is not really the best movie in the world, but you know, it's a pretty good one in my opinion. Now, I guess with that being said and that being the case, I think we should go on to our score. Now, with that being said, I am going to give the 2009 and the 1991 Unborn film. I'm going to give them both a 6 out of 10. Not really the best movies that I've seen personally, but I personally wish they could have been better. But like I said, that's just me, stating my own opinion. But other than that, this film was not a bad film. I personally wished it could have been better, but it is what it is. So I guess with that being said, what did you guys personally think of these movies? Did you enjoy them? Did you not? Also, what you have done personally help make these films a lot better. Feel free to let me know what your thoughts are down in the comment section down below. I'm Shadow the Lion Queen. Thank you so much for watching today's video, and if you're new to my channel, be sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe if you're new. Ring the bell for notifications to when I upload, so that way you guys will not miss an upload. As always, if you guys want to go follow me on Twitter, follow me on DeviantArt, follow me on Blue Sky, follow me on Instagram, and follow me on my backup channel known as Miss Dark Shigo, as links to all those will be in the About page section, so you guys can go check them out if you haven't. And that's pretty much all I have to really say, but I will be catching you guys all in the next video. Peace out, and like always, roll the outro because I'm out, and I'll see you all later.
What's up, my pretties? It's the Lion Queen here. I want to appreciate you all for tuning into this video, and I do appreciate you guys supporting my video by giving this video likes and stuff. If you really enjoyed this video, be sure to leave a like, comment and subscribe if you're new, ring the bell for notifications to when I upload so that way you guys will get updated for whenever I upload. If you want to follow me on Twitter or DeviantArt, feel free to leave a follow on those if you are interested in following me on those socials. If you want to support my backup channel, known as Miss Dark Shigo, feel free to subscribe to it, as a link to that will also be in the About page section. And with that being said, and that being the case, thank you so much for watching, my pretties, and as always, stay pretty.